Packers come home 3-3. The Colts 3-2, going to Lambeau Field just the second time in a regular season game for Peyton Manning in his career. Hey, how are you folks? Jason Horowitz, CBS Sports' Charley Casserly. Glad to be with you on the NFL Previews presented by Comcast, and this certainly looks like the game of the week. Indianapolis at Green Bay. And Charlie, does this one have shootout written all over it?
Oh, I think it does. I think, Aaron Rodgers has been effective all year throwing the ball. He's got good receivers. Donald Driver certainly being one of them. And Indianapolis, I think Peyton Manning, is he back? He's back. I think the time off in training camp, I think he's back in his groove. Here you see his stats there, 63% completions. Those interceptions, touchdowns, that ratio is going to expand. He's going to have a lot more touchdowns and interceptions the rest of the year. He really looked back in his groove with his receivers last week.
And going up against the Green Bay defense, which played better last week at Seattle, but again, they were going up against Charlie Fry, not Peyton Manning. Is this one of those, because we saw Marvin Harrison come back last week, Reggie Wayne exploded, Dallas Clark. Are you looking for big games for all of those guys?
I think you see that possibility, because here's the thing with Peyton Manning. The guy is so smart reading the defense. He spreads the ball around, and he's got three very effective receivers that you just pointed out there. So and against an injured secondary for the Green Bay Packers. And here you can see that with the touchdowns of Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. Antonio Gonzalez hasn't come up big this year, but the guy is a talented player. I mean, that's a heck of a fourth option to have.
And of course, Dallas Clark then would be the third. Does Green Bay have anybody to match up with him? Because they've had all kinds of injuries this year, secondary and to the linebacking core, and Cullen Jenkins up front.
No, they don't. Their defense right now is hurting because they can't put pressure on the quarterback. KGB is not the same player. He was the #1 pass rusher a year ago. He's not the same player. No, they're going to struggle stopping the Indianapolis Colts.
Meanwhile, it could be the same way for Indianapolis' defense against the Packers' offense. When you look at Green Bay, where do they look to take advantage the most?
Well, I think, first of all, the running game. The Indianapolis Colts defense is built on speed, and that speed is at home. When they go on the road now, their defense is not going to be as strong because they're not going to have the speed. This is a slow field. You're going to have undersized guys. They're going to be outmatched in size. I think Green Bay can run the ball and wear them down. I think Ryan Grant, who's gotten better this year, and you can see his stats here. It doesn't show much, so still 3.4. But to me, he looks better. Every week he looks a little bit better. I think he can begin to have maybe his best game of the year this year.
And the thing that stands out to me about that is he has 51 carries the last 2 games. The 4 before that, he only had 55. He's getting healthy, and that's got to be key for Aaron Rodgers in this game as well, is that he'll have the semblance and the threat of Ryan Grant back there.
Right, and that's by design, because what they did with Ryan Grant is they knew he wasn't ready to carry the ball 25 times a game. So they purposely limited his carries in the first couple of games.
And, of course, it is a game that's a 4:15 start on CBS, one that I think a lot of people are looking forward to. Peyton Manning, can he go up to Lambeau and win? He lost his only other regular season game up there. Does he get the win?
I think he gets the win in this game. And somehow the Colts have won some games solely because of Peyton Manning this year that they should not have won. The game against Houston, obviously Houston turned it over. Peyton Manning made some plays at the end of the game. The Minnesota game, they won because of him making plays. Now that offense is playing good. I think the passing attack will be good. But, hey, Green Bay will score some points in this game. Like we talked about, this is going to be a shootout. But never bet against Peyton Manning in my eyes.
And the one guy that you won't have is Joseph Adai for at least a couple of weeks, but they haven't been running the football anyway. No, so Dominic Rhodes can do it just the same right now, if not better than an unhealthy Joseph Adai. So we'll see how that all plays out on CBS. For more on this game or any other in Week 7, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. For Charley Casserly, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.